What these microorganisms do in the soil, they break down the minerals in the soil, and they are also responsible for the absorption of those minerals out of the soil and into the roots of the plants. These microorganisms also protect the plant against any harmful pathogens that might be in the soil. These microorganisms are responsible for the nourishment of the plant. And this explains why organically grown fruits and vegetables have a far higher mineral content. Because what an organic gardener does, he works with the soil. He feeds the soil. Now this plant knows that it needs those microorganisms. So 50% of the fuel that this plant makes from photosynthesis, it sends down to the roots to feed the microorganisms. Beautiful illustration of the law of service that's written on every plant in nature. Every plant takes with one purpose: to give. And it's the law of life: to give is to live. Have you discovered it? In our life, to give is to live. I love giving these lectures. It's my life. To give is to live. And we see that law on every plant in nature. That plant knows that it needs those microorganisms. So it says, please stay, I'll feed you well. We see this same process in the gastrointestinal tract. Our gastrointestinal tract is lined with villi. And they look just like the roots of a plant, don't they? And all through these villi is a blood capillary network. And that blood capillary network is where the nutrients from our food are absorbed into. Any food that goes into your gastrointestinal tract is not part of you or me till it gets broken down to tiny substances and then absorbed out of the gut and into the blood. Lining our gastrointestinal tract are microbiome. When we were in our mother's womb, our gut was sterile. But when we were born, we were literally showered with our mother's microorganisms. The two main microorganisms in our gut is Lactobacillus acidophilus, bifidobacterium. There are thousands, but they all come mostly from those two. And those microorganisms in our gut play a very similar role to what they play in the soil. Those microorganisms are responsible for the final breakdown of our food. Don't the enzymes in our mouth and our pancreas and our liver, don't they break the food down? They do. But these bacterias, they break down and release something else, B vitamins. They also cause the release of glutathione. Glutathione, we hear a lot about that as an antioxidant and a very powerful one. But you'll notice if you investigate it, it's not in food. It's released from our food by the action of these microorganisms in our gut. These microorganisms are also cause a release of melatonin. And melatonin is that hormone that helps us to sleep well at night. Remember we looked at it when we looked at sleep? It's our fix and rejuvenate nighttime hormone. These microorganisms are responsible for the absorption of our nutrients out of the gut and into the blood. These microorganisms protect our blood against any harmful pathogens that might be in the gut. These microorganisms are responsible for the nourishment of the little cells that line the gastrointestinal tract. Are you starting to see they're not our enemy? They're not our enemy. They're an integral part of life on the planet, in our body, in our gut.